Toby Hodges from Yachting World. We're aboard the J45 and it's the first time we've seen a big new cruising J in quite some time. So it should be a fun one to sail because J's always are, it's in their DNA. And let's see what they've changed for the 2021 version of their current flagship of the cruising line. Sailing upwind here on the J45. Sloppy leftover swell, but we have 10 knots of breeze now and making pretty consistent 7.5 knots and noticeably pointing high as well. Really enjoyable experience again to go on a monohull that sails really well upwind, single rudder boat. Definitely still got J-Boat's DNA in this. So sailing back downhill now on the J45, not quite the breeze we were hoping for, a bit of a leftover confused swell, but still probably the boat having the most fun in these conditions because we can still match these 5 to 7 knots of true wind speed and got some lovely sails, including this big asymmetric to help us on our way home. So this first one, this is the first to launch and it's for a Spanish owner. It's his 4th J, so experienced cruiser racer, and he's gone for some really nice options on this to help get the most out of it. Starting from the bow here, including this extra long bowsprit, so that's an option to have. Just again to suit those cruiser racers who want to be able to set a bigger spinnaker, so an A2 off that forward tack point. Otherwise the bowsprit would end where that mid tack point is, and at the end of the bow roller. With this one, the bobstay goes past the anchor roller, so you have to release the bobstay for the anchoring part. But yeah, you can see aggressive bow shape, flat deck furler, keep the footler, the headsail nice and low. You've got the stanchion supports for the push pit, all pretty belt and bracer stuff. So in here you have sail locker large enough for this furled code 0 in this case, and access into the anchor locker, because with this open here for the windlass there's only enough access to get your hand through there to get anything stopped from jamming, so you get access to the chain locker from in there, and then your watertight bulkhead at the aft end of the sail locker. So this owner's also gone for an inner staysail. So this has an inner forestay, removable inner forestay here on a Carver lock, and it's got the halyard lock at the mast. So this is running through this antail clutch and then back, so you can tighten it on the primary winch. And there's the halyard lock for it there as well. Neat system. So in over sort of 15 knots true and in waves, you can set a staysail on a furler for a reduced headsail size to go upwind, keep going upwind properly. And then otherwise, yeah, it's belt and braces J stuff, really nice, sensible, grippy, non-slip deck. You've got a tow rail there. The tracks for the genoa, so 106% genoa on this. Tracks along here, and then you've got the bridle system to sheet it inboard so you can sail properly upwind again, with the adjuster there running back to the cockpit, led neatly through the coach roof itself, and then the rest of the lines running under deck. And you'll also notice the German main sheet system, which comes down here and disappears through the cheek plot and disappears under the side deck, so completely uncluttered side deck, nice long handrails, really good sense of security moving up and down the side decks. And then you see where the sheet leads now from the genoa to the secondary winches here, or the primaries, and then the German sheeting comes out here from this foot plate to the winches each side. They've kept their main sheet traveller on deck, so it's accessible for maintenance, easy to use. So you can helmsman either sits here with a good foot brace as well, and this raises up here at an angle, or you can sit in here forward of the wheel to trim, with the traveller and the main sheet to hand, obviously. And there's your hydraulic tensioner for the backstay and the vang. Otherwise, yeah, a drop down swim platform on a manual clutch, and a lazarette locker below here, which I'll open up now. With this, gives access to the steering gear, so it's a central aft locker here for all your toys and your fenders, etc. Shallow but full beam access to the quadrant and the steering gear there, and indeed all the piping going forward to the hot water tank further forward between the cabins. This one only has one aft cabin, so that's a workspace there. That bulkhead open into there. Otherwise, a good spacious cockpit for a 45-footer. Nice long benches. In this mode, obviously, drop down access into that tech room workspace area. And this one, life raft locker to port. And nice features, this fixed table with the foot brace there, really good chunky race support there, so you can brace yourself on either tack nicely. Okay, so moving down the nice secure companionway into a very comfortable J-Boat interior, and you'll notice straight away they have paid big attention to making this a warm and cruising friendly interior as possible, to the extent that, you know, all this lovely oak joinery you're looking at. J Composites got a specialist carpentry firm involved to do this, subcontracted to them, so the level of the joiner work looks really nice indeed. And it's, yeah, really well finished. I mean, it's a competitive market, the cruising 45-foot performance cruiser market, and J know that they want to keep their DNA of a good sailing shape monohull and fast, fun cruiser racer background, but here you have got so they accept the fact it's not going to be as voluminous as some of the competition, but it's still very, very comfortable for its size, shape and price. So this is a 10-ton light displacement boat, real displacement, but it's designed to take, you know, the sort of up to 2 load payload capacity that a cruising folk will put on a yacht of this size, and still offer the performance which we saw today, which is really very, very nice indeed. So straight away coming into a generous galley here, and particularly when you see size of the stowage and the cold stowage. I mean, look how large the fridge is, with a freezer compartment up there as well. It's got a temperature control on there, so you can see if you just need to flick the power on to chill it down, you can see the temperature and control it. These deep raised lockers right throughout the boat, and right throughout the saloon and galley area, so plenty of stowage there. And outboard here as well, banker drawers there, and below the sink as well, with a bin, sweep-in bin there in the corner, and an extra fridge here as well. Yes, of course, you get a proper chart table area. Again, good stowage running along here, and probably have noticed as well the secure feeling you get throughout the boat, whether it's on deck, whether it's moving below. Good fixed grab rails and fiddles where you move, and also along the headlining there, almost invisible but really solid. You could hang off that. Stowage around the chart table as well. These seats super comfortable. They wanted to put the best sort of quality mattresses and cushions on they could, so 3 different foams on the mattresses, and these, take my word for it, these seats are very comfortable. The table area here could be a drop down table to fill in that area there as a large bed, and you can have 2 seats that would adjoin this table area here to sit 6 around the saloon table. 1.8 metre sleepable berth to starboard if you wanted it to be, and this has the two cabin option, and there's a 3 cabin option. So this is a 2 cabin with 2 heads. So moving into the forward cabin, stowage as you enter here, and a small wardrobe and a locker below, and then still a generous size considering this J doesn't have the very voluminous bow shapes that some of its competition have gone for. You've got good headroom up here, 6-foot headroom, carried almost to the berth itself. No stowage under the berth because that's water tank. J calculates that their customers or cruising sailors will typically load the saloon galley with supplies, and maybe even in the aft area, so you counterbalance that with the water up forward. 2 times 175 litre tanks, I think. And then you always have the ensuite, so the separate shower compartment here and heads area. Nice high standard fixtures and fittings and finish on this, even down to the sound system, which is really good. Hidden speakers on this one, that's an upgraded option, but yeah, so they are amplified through the panels both in the saloon here and the cockpit. The large aft double cabin here, and if you took the 3rd cabin option it would be a similar sized berth, but you have a very good amount of swinging space, turning space, changing space here. Small lockers, compact wardrobe there, but locker space below as well, and a tank below this berth. There is access into the engine from the side panels each side, but you use a sucker to take those off. Otherwise, conventional engine access under the companionway steps. And then this is where the layout can change, because you can have, if you go for the 3rd cabin, you wouldn't have this large separate shower area, it would be a wet area in this heads. As it is though, really nice size shower compartment with hooks there for wet hanging, and a big old seat. 3/4 height door into this locker tech workroom area. So there's the Jenica asymmetric we were sailing with today, and you even get a hull window because it could be a cabin obviously, but yeah, for cruising couples especially, you don't need the extra cabin space. Having all of this stowage space, it's just yeah, superb really. Have a good look at the infusion sprint system that Jay used. It's yeah, excellent finish quality. Build a stiff structure, and that's the water tank between the cabins there, and we saw the access, there's the steering gear there, we saw that from the cockpit itself. Combination of US pragmatism, so Johnston family, Alan Johnston design, and French flair. Done a really nice job. Great to see J-boats back in this at market area.